Hello guys. My editing style is pretty much I change the audio so you can hear us better. So you get the full experience of us, so there will be blank spots around here and here. But I'd just like to say that today's video is going to be completely different than anything we've ever done. Instead of playing a video game or making a movie or anything like that, we're going to read something me and my redhead, Skyrim, saw him in the All-In playthrough. And if you haven't watched the All-In playthrough, please go check that out. Probably leave a link in the description. If not, go to the channel. There is a playlist. I don't know if a second episode of that's going to come out before this, but I'm trying to think what I was going to say. Well, we're going to be reading something called the E.A.T.S Project. And E.A.T.S Project stands for Electroshock Amnesia Therapeutic Sessions. I don't know if you can see here. It's basically well, you'll see. So this is how we started with the E.A.T.S Project report. It has the thing I just said there. And this first thing right here was written 2024, around 2 years ago. But this project was created to give people a chance to rebuild their lives after something horrible happened. It was also a way to remove murder and other serious crimes on this planet. I would like to say I wrote this at a younger age than I am now, so most of this will be at a slightly lower reading level and probably have really bad grammar. But, alas, we continue. Drugs, aka medicine, to administer during the trial to the subjects. Many drugs can cause memory loss, including that word, I was never able to say that word, used to treat anxiety and agitation. These drugs can make it harder to move information from short-term memory to long-term memory. We can also use beta blockers, and these are really used to treat high blood pressure and congestive heart failure. But these drugs can affect the brain's chemical messengers that help with attention and processing information. We've got a couple other things here. The anti-seizure drugs, they can cause memory problems. You see that there is a connection, a pattern between all of these where they all cause memory loss. Now, during a trial, we administer the drug while giving electroshock amnesia. We're giving electroshock therapy. You know what I mean? You go, psst, okay. And right now, we've been using animal trials at this point in the procedures, and also death row inmates for human procedures. First, we start the electroshock therapy session, and in the middle of the session, we administer the drugs. So each drug in a different subject, the ones we've previously listed here, and we keep notes and continue doing this repeatedly to see which one works and which one doesn't. The result should be where the hippocampus destruction at the point of no return, so that the patient would be completely unintelligent so that they can be retaught and gain a new identity in life. So this should be used in witness protection? Probably not. This should be used on serial killers to make them better people, and also, apparently, according to this, a way to recreate Freaky Friday. I'm going to try to figure out how to use the document that I made. The next thing on this is this. We shock subject's brain just after we change the path of the neuron electric bounces to make it what we want after the medicine. Now, that is such bad grammar. I can't even tell you what I just read. I think it says, what if we shock the subject's brains just after we administer the medicine? And so we can change the path of where the neurons in your brain go to make your brain do what we want. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, I don't know why that repeats that, is a procedure that uses a mild electric current to cause a brief seizure. This treatment effectively treats severe mental health conditions, including depression, schizophrenia, and more. So basically, we're zapping your brain to remove your depression, which is amazing. We add the medicine before, and then we use a traumatizing sound while the machine is on, and then add the medicine. I don't remember exactly. I remember there was a study with rats where they used some sort of traumatizing sound, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I haven't seemed to list my sightings here. The GS files stand for Gibson and Skyrim, obviously. This is the date, maybe September 17th. We have some sort of timestamp. What is this? It's a very dark room, and I don't see many things. There's this fog type thing. What is it? And I have this paper, so I'm writing. Dang, this sucks. How long am I in here? Who's that? He's a guy. He has red hair. He's small. Who is he? There's a lot of stuff here. But the main thing that I could say that happened on here is that Skyrim, the redhead in questioning, goes to subject 17. This is the 17th person that we've tried this on. And it basically says that this is not a punishment for his crimes, but he does get kind of zappity boop booped. And then it failed, obviously, considering the fact that, same as before, just started bashing his head on the wall, even though I tried speaking to him. Shame. Now, that basically means that our stuff happened really bad. Now, I'm going to keep going through these pretty fast, so hopefully you can pay attention. But it's pretty easy to follow along to after I read off some stuff. But mainly, we've got a couple things happening here. We've got Skyrim and me doing stuff to basically remove serial killerness and then reteach them to be a better person. I'm pretty sure I wrote this, but I'm not sure. The one that we just read was written by Skyrim. This might be written by me. Today is Friday the 13th, December 2024. The year is the year to start testing. This is a sign we need to start human testing on the E.A.T.S project. Message. Please help me. I'm at... And then apparently... Oh, so this was originally a white document, and we did redact some stuff using black highlight. But because I'm on a dark screen, you can see that our redacting doesn't really work here. Everywhere I look, anyone who receives this, I see rats banging their heads on the wall, and test tubes filled with blue liquid and half-grown animals. I'm not fucking safe. I'm not sure what my name is, how old I am, and I'm not okay with my position in this room. Hi, it's me again. An hour ago, I sent out a transmission for help, and now it's important that I get it. I tried to walk out of this room, and I'm surrounded by glass. 20 to 30 minutes ago, a man with red hair came in with another person. The last thing I saw was smoke filling the room. And when I woke up, I was surrounded by glass and I was missing my left arm and my left leg. I saw in the corner a table with a man on it. They were being electrocuted. After he was electrocuted, he was let out. He walked over to a corner and started to bang his head into the wall. I was confused at first, but then I remembered what the man with red hair said to me. He said, I was the first successful subject. Oh no, he's coming now. I have to log off. Send help. So, basically, this is a audio recording of something that happened to a patient. Now, this patient, I'm pretty sure hasn't been listed yet. I don't remember if they've listed the number of the patient. But it says that the subject is showing great potential. His IQ was above 120, so we found the sweet spot. The subject was perfect. He didn't bash his head against the wall, which was the main issue going on at this part in the project. But instead, he did nothing. He was alive, and I gave him a phone with Block Blast on it, which probably isn't relevant. He played it, but it was all random. He also only had one arm, which was kind of bad, but whatever. So even though we are only in the second actual document part of this, we did somehow mention clones, which you'll see. Also, if you want this to turn into a series, please leave a like or a comment to let us know, because I probably won't continue reading out this whole thing unless it's popular-esque. With my 19 subscribers, I only want one. If we reach one, I will do a series of this. But supposedly, they stole body parts to create clones and cyborg replicas of his bodies. Help me repeated 7,000 times is a actual ploy to get people not to scroll down on the document. Hello, Gibson. That's not important. What is important is what I am. I'm Skyrim's, as he calls me, co-worker. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say resigning and not retracting. He calls me coworker. I'm resigning because of that. Retracting because of that. Sorry, but it's true anyway. I'm saying that this is a living hell. The living conditions in his lab, no idea how he can even afford this lab, but either way, I'm forced to be here. I was paid, but now he forgets I even exist. I used to think he was a good kid, but no, he's insane. I swear. I could die faster. I could die down here. So this is incredibly hard. I can die down here because of him faster than I would die because of the conditions, is what the point's trying to go across. And as soon as he finds something about the project, he physically drags me. I'm light, I guess. Basically, he doesn't even ask for the death row inmates. He just kidnaps people, and he replaces them with copies that are barely alive, according to the end of this. I'm very scared for how I'm going to be able to read and decipher this, because we didn't use stuff to help our grammar. No, we wrote this by hand with the least amount of grammar known to mankind. So now we're going to the fourth one. Hippocampus disruption did not happen in patient 342. Even though we performed the drug, they cannot mention the drug, that was the most effective during the rat trials. The original results that we hypothesized were complete stupidity, as if the patient was an infant. Patients 1 through 341 all had complete stupidity, but they died only a couple weeks after they started to bang their heads on the wall. Unlike the others, patient 432 showed intelligence that should not have been possible. Patient 342 showed that his memory was lost, but he still knew enough to explain the world around him. We started a test by leaving a phone near him to see how he would perform. He successfully sent out 3 messages with somewhat proper grammar, and was able to understand who we were, who he was, and then the second message showed that his memory had not been fully erased, but he knows the position he is in, and it is not a safe one for him. We suspect that his IQ might have been the key to figuring out this project, and might be the key to ending tests earlier than we expected. He seems promising. We need to focus on this patient and what we did during the E.A.T.S session and replicate it on another subject and compare simple actions like eating and sleeping. So basically what happened is patient 342 is the one that was sending out the phone calls, and he only worked because of his intelligence level. Yes. This is pretty long. It's basically everything. It's questionable. I'm going to read it. Sheesh. If I do not finish document 1 today, I am sorry. I am on a tight deadline today. I'm pretty busy. This also won't be uploaded. Well, right now it is 4:28 p.m. February the 11th, Central Time, I believe. So give me 1 second. I know that you're watching this on a phone or something, or a TV, because I'm not live, but I also am not editing out most of the parts because I want it to be very casual. You know what I mean? Okay, I am back, guys. So I'm going to continue reading now. Both patients 342 and 343 have shown great potential. This is a great discovery. Patient 343 has found the hole in his cell and met 342 as expected. These patients have been in our facility and project for about a month, but they only seem to remember the last 3 weeks. Patient 342 was our coworker to begin with. His name is redacted. This coworker showed disloyalty, and he could have risked everything we worked for. All that said about patient 342, his smarts are not to be underestimated. His intelligence is what saved him in the procedure, and as we set things up for subject 344, which should be changed to patient 344, the 2 successful patients are oblivious to our test and interactions that were planned beforehand. To have a perfect subject, patient, before we use E.A.T.S on ourselves and humans that are not death row inmates. So basically, from that little blurb, patient 342 is a coworker of Skyrim and Gibson that they did this little mind wipe to. He only survived because of his intelligence level, which is a good data point to continue going up in their test runs. But from that blurb right there. And they also somehow went from 343 to 344. I think that was a typo, perhaps. And they also plan on using the electroshock amnesia therapeutic sessions on themselves, and also people that are not death row inmates, which they've already started to do. Gibson's just oblivious, and which was already discussed in a previous document, so I'm not spoiling anything. You probably didn't pay attention. My memory is fading fast, but I have hidden the paper well, and I will hide this one too, in the same spot, which he's acting like he's talking to someone in the first person, which he's like, they're not in front of his face. If they find this, they obviously know you hid it somewhere. 2 men came into the room 10 minutes ago, but they were young. Too young. It was confusing to say the least, but I saw him, the one with red hair. But the one with black hair was new. Don't trust either. I don't trust either of them. Believe me, it is not the way I want to live. But earlier I hit my head on something, and remembered my past. Then I saw multiple rats banging their head into the wall, and I think they came to the same conclusion. But that is dang, and then there is apparently uneligible writing. Hi, I need help. My memory is gone completely. I have been searching for a way out. Wait, what's that? My head. Wait, I can remember everything except for my name. I don't know why though. Skyrim and Gibson, they must have destroyed my memory somehow. But that memory somehow... But I can't let them know that I might lose all my memories. I must set traps for myself so I can hit my head and remember my life. Wait, what's that? Over there. It's an exit. I'm leaving. Who are you? And how did you get into my room? Wait, who are you? The only thing I can remember is I'm patient 342. The rest of the file is corrupted. So I'm pretty sure what happened there was 343 realized how to get his memory back, which is hitting his head into a wall, and he accidentally ended up in 342's room. And this is the last document of the first set of files. Test 1 of trauma-activated electroshock drug-induced amnesia therapeutic sessions. Idiots. It's okay. So it's idiots. If you can remember that acronym, which I don't know why it's that long now, but it's idiots. Patient 344 is now being intoxicated with the sleeping gas. Strapping patient to bed now. Activating electroshock amnesia. Activating electroshock equipment now. Turn on the sound. Then give me the drug. Vial. Skyrim gives Gibson a vial. Here is the drug. And turning sound on now. Skyrim clicks a button. The end of the audio clip. I don't know why. That should be a video clip. The rest of this is notes. Patient is shaking violently. Foam is coming out of the patient's mouth. Me and Skyrim look at the patient's heartbeat intensively, hoping for good results. Flat lining. What a shame. I hope this would be the patient we hoped for. Me and Skyrim started to go over the data and looked at the patient's hippocampus, and there was a disruption, but the patient went brain dead. And if there was not a misreading on the IQ test, he might not have died. Also, the use of electroshock could have pushed the patient over the edge. On the next test, we plan on changing the frequency of the equipment and do multiple tests to see if the patient will work. Sadly, this is another failed attempt, Skyrim. We need to fix this. If we lose more, we might lose our funding, or worse. Myrim. We need to work harder for results. Myrim is my nickname for Skyrim. This is just another example of Patient 17, where one thing messes up and we lose another subject. I know, Gibson. Please don't give up yet. Don't leave this project. This was our dream. This was your idea. But it is something never thought of before. No research can tell us what to do but our own. If you give up, we could be arrested for mass murder because of the 342 people that have become bread dead or just dead. Wait, what are you doing, Gibson? Stop. Don't come any closer. Gibson grabs Skyrim. Hey, stop. Please. I beg you, please. Skyrim, I have to do this. This is the only way. No. Finally, drug induced into patient 346. Wait, Gibson, think for a second. Oh no, I have to stop. Gibby, Gibbet, Gibbet. No, Skyrim, speak to me, please. So basically what happened in this document was Gibson basically brain deaded Skyrim. But we'll never know why. I think it's because he thought Skyrim's IQ would help the project. But after this mistake, Gibson did spend 3 months working tirelessly to fix Skyrim. So now these are just basically all the writings and stuff from the patient 342 and 343. Now we have, instead of GS, we have SG because we are really great at doing stuff. We have a lot to get through today, so hopefully we can get through this. SG-001 dream. Was my thought impossible? I do ask myself. Was my dream never to become a reality? Or was my dream just a nightmare? These are all questions that I ask myself daily since the E.A.T.S project started testing. I see broken people trying to get out of a place that I thought was great. Gibson and Skyrim have been working hard for the dream that we have, but I think it is now inhumane. My life has been dedicated towards this project, this dream, but I realize that this dream was a nightmare, and the only way to escape is to destroy the people that caused the nightmare. Skyrim and Gibson do not understand what they are doing, and I want to save them. But to do that, I must remove them from this nightmare. Basically, this is a co-worker of them. I don't remember exactly if this is 342, but he basically wants to end the E.A.T.S project because they are killing people. They are not successfully doing their job, if you get my drift gist right there, actually. This is a piece of paper that has been put into text on the patient 402 on January the 3rd. Although we tried, strong people, not really strong people, so that's what I'm going to do. This is insanity, the grammar. The 402 incident. I don't know if I will ever share this or put it in, but if you're reading this, guess I did. So I took the biggest guy I saw, strapped him to the machine, gave him the vial, and I got out to get a soda, activate the machine, and then it started. I heard glass shatter. He escaped. I was only slightly down the stairs. I saw my worker's head being held. I ran, grabbed a gun, and then shot him 3 more times. Then I threw him into a wood chipper, then burnt him to ash. If you're wondering, he didn't make it out alive. So this was just something bad. I think that Gibson's having a little bit of guilt here. Or I don't even know if Gibson wrote this. This could be literally anybody in the project, but he did say that he killed somebody. And obviously, the subject or patient in this example is unknown. They don't know me, but I know them. From a broken dream that turned into a nightmare, to a dead clone seeking himself, Skyrim says. He has ideas. He has versions, to say the least. But he isn't normal, right? Now he's killing people because of another death. So they're not speaking. The subject is listing off people in the project. So Skyrim Mason, he has ideas. He has versions, to say the least, but he's killing people because of another death. Not really explained. In this one, at least, he's the real driver. He's the head. Although Skyrim has done more in the same time frame, the only reason Skyrim is here is because of him, which is interesting. Skyrim V, new character. Skyrim doesn't know this one, and I will not explain him, but they will meet. And when that happens, Gibson's control will be gone. I do remind you, there are 6 documents. I'm going to try my best to finish document 1 today. I'm not sure I will. It's pretty long. But basically what just happened here is they listed off these people. Gibson V is basically the same as Skyrim V, which you don't know yet. Project Hellstorm, the only thing comes out of this, Project Hellstorm, and he apparently knows Skyrim's name. Hi, this is Skyrim, and Skyrim only. So Gibson, go away, but I have a name now, Skyrim V. So the password is what V stands for. The password was Vance. Now I get to open up this message called letter, Hi, I'm Vance. You and I'm dead. Not it is, and I'm in for real. So basically, they said that basically Vance is Skyrim. Vance is trying Skyrim V, SV. There's so many names, but I'm just gonna go with SV for now. Saying that Gibson killed SV. Somehow SV is still alive. SV says he's God, and he called Gibson evil. This is the error documents. Most of these are just redacted, broken, and literally says there's a bunch of CDs in a cabinet. I don't really think these have much, but it does say, hi, here I am good for my crimes. It does say that he's probably going to hell. God won't forgive us for our crimes, so he's going to, it says Operation Hellstorm. He basically says that there's not much really in these except for the fact that Project Hellstorm is in it. And it also says that somebody, which is probably Skyrim SV, is making Gibson V. GSV files, this is probably Gibson, Skyrim Vance, probably what that stands for. We don't like to actually explain what our abbreviations mean. This is Gibson Scares. I have just witnessed huge amounts of information and fascinating knowledge. Patient 471, our most recent patient, has become Patient Cannibal. The story behind this change in name was due to a recent discovery by Patient Cannibal. He put his life on the line in a dangerous battle between him and Patient 474. We refused to feed him for days, and when he finally snapped, we unlocked his cage and let him roam. This is Cannibal roaming. He found a secret room where an escaped patient had been living for years. There's apparently missing text here that we'll not go into. He saw him and tried to speak, but his brain was lost from hunger and past experiments. After he saw patient 474, he realized one thing. He had no food, and he desperately needed something to eat. 474 was the only thing he had, and he was not in the best condition. So against what should be his will and instincts, but they were changed in ways we will try to understand, and because of those change in his morals, he resorted to cannibalism. He charged at 474, and after a while, 474 was gone. This feat was extraordinary because he should have no strength and should have lost the fight, but our experiments stopped. The rest of the thing is gone. Because this is also audio driving. So, yes, this is an audio recording, you know what I mean? This is like, oh, this is important. I'm pretty sure that we are probably not going to make it to the rest of this. This is also the longest one of them all. I think that we're going to get this going. To whom it may concern, my first clone was a disaster, but I have hopes about this one. We learned a great deal since this initial failures, and I'm optimistic. However, there's only one thing that's unsettling. Patient Cannibal, Patient C, has lost what I can only describe as the very essence of humanity. His ability to discern right from wrong is gone. He no longer speaks, and what's more troubling, he has completely lost his ability to walk on two legs. He is no longer a bipedal creature, which has left me confused and disoriented in trying to understand this transformation. From this, we have concluded one disturbing fact. Hunger is a force that seems to be pushing our patients to the edge. When deprived of sustenance for too long, they snap, losing more of themselves in the process. And by our, I mean me and Sky. Sky has been distant lately. He's off doing his own research for something he won't even share with me. I'm starting to worry about his motives and what he's working on in secrecy. But for now, I have my own work to focus on. I have chosen the Roman numeral V for this clone because, well, he's the fifth clone I've created, whether of my Sky or patient. The instructions for its creation were meticulous, though some parts have been redacted, but I followed them to the letter. I'm confident in this creation. Gibson V is born now. I want to clarify something before you make any assumptions about who is responsible for the creation of Skyrim V. It wasn't me. I didn't create Skyrim V. I received a letter containing instructions, and I followed those instructions. Who sent that letter remains a mystery, but I suspect it was either Skyrim V's creator or perhaps Skyrim V himself. The end. So basically, what has been revealed is that Patient Cannibal was not a prisoner that we took in or someone we kidnapped off the street. Patient Cannibal is a clone of probably Gibson, considering the fact Gibson probably wrote this. And he made him from a letter he received from the meticulous Skyrim V, or Skyrim V's creator himself. The letter was clearly written by someone entrenched in the complex and morally ambiguous world of cloning and experimentation. The reference to patients losing their bipedal. This whole thing is something. I don't remember writing it. This is something about subject 499. I am sending this to Gibson Foster Scarce, the co-creator and founder of the E.A.T.S facilities and the E.A.T.S project itself. This is to help you when creating your 5th clone. I understand about the first successful clone, Skyrim V. That's not to say I am or am not Skyrim V, but I do want you to be curious about who sent you this letter. First, to create a clone, you will need your DNA, your RNA, and your chromosome count. Then you will follow these instructions. Now, the only chromosome count you should have is the normal one, unless you have an extra chromosome or you're missing one. Hopefully, if you're me, I'm not missing one. But when you complete these instructions, also where it says redacted text is where it had instructions, but they were redacted, obviously. When you complete these instructions and check your work multiple times, you should finish by using the last ingredient and putting it into a mold of your gender and height. So basically, if you want it to be a guy, you have to put it in a mold with a guy mold. If you want it to be your height, put in height mold. It has to be a mold of you. Now, there's a lot of stuff here, but it basically says, I know where you live. He's basically a stalker. There's all that down there. I'm pretty sure this is all about Gibson Scares and also Cannibal Gibson V. Yes, so I'm pretty sure they're trying to say patient cannibal is the same as Gibson V. Anyway, I think that I might leave off here because it has been a pretty long video of me just reading this. If you want to see more of this, which you probably don't, leave a maybe comment. If you don't want to see more of this, please let me know what you do want to see. Do you want to see another gaming video? Would you like us to continue Pokemon All In? Would you want to see Garryette coming out soon if you like that trailer? Leave some ideas in the comments what video games I could play. It might be interesting to you. And if you've made it to this part of the video, congratulations. You are probably someone who's watched longer than anybody else. So, love ya. Thanks for watching. My name is Gibson, and your name is you. I'm me, you're you, but you're me, and I'm me. Thank you, and thanks for watching.